Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Zephyr, and welcome to hashtag the Cool Breeze podcast, episode 4, where I'm going to feature Wavvy Jay, a.k.a. Jared. He is actually a hip-hop artist that's up and coming out of Merced, California, and he has been with me and along my journey since I've moved here to California to start doing this. And so he's been witnessing a lot of like the work I put in for this, and it's really cool to chat with him about it. So even though this isn't really about melodic progressive house or anything of that nature, it is still about music, and it's still relevant to me in my journey and in my life. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much. This is Zephyr. Welcome to episode 4 of the Cool Breeze podcast, where you got me talking about whatever's on my mind. So for today, I got my man right here, Wavvy Jay, Jared. He's a hip-hop artist, and he is making his way in the game right now. It's been pretty cool being with him along his journey, and we're just going to exchange some things and talk about some stuff. So for the people that don't know, now you're going to know, this is him right here. He's on SoundCloud, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can find out a lot more about him just by going in here and checking out his music, all right?
Yes, sir.
So, Wavvy J, man, how's it going?
It's going good, bro.
All right, man.
Glad to be here. Glad to be on the podcast.
Yeah, man, welcome. Episode 4, so you're still in the early stages.
Yeah, I was waiting for my call.
Yeah. Well, you're around, man, and I got you alone for a minute, so I figured I'd take advantage of you.
Yeah.
So, music. Tell me a little bit about. First, tell me a little bit about yourself, and then tell me what got you into music.
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm from Merced, California, small town. Definitely known for all the wrong things, but just 20 years old, trying to chase a bag out here, trying to do something. You know, I got a job, but there's not many jobs out here. And
Yeah.
I want to do something, that I can wake up to every morning and really, feel like I want to do it instead it's my job,
Yeah, music's one of them.
Yeah. Music is definitely a main hobby in my life.
Okay.
I got into music when I was super young. It wasn't necessarily hip-hop, but my dad was a drummer for a band. So growing up, there was always a drum set in my house. I was always around music. I listened to a lot of rock and, heavy metal and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was cool because even though it wasn't hip-hop, I still found, rhythm.
Yeah.
And I found, beats and stuff like that. So I was really into the whole, rhythmic kind of process of music.
Right. So that kind of started your whole foundation towards, wanting to explore deeper into how
Exactly.
the music was made and how it affected you and how you can translate that rhythm into.
And I could tell, certain songs made me feel certain types of way. And, as I got older, I guess it kind of became easier for me to, express myself through lyrics.
Yeah.
So I definitely like to give that vibe. When people listen to my stuff, they feel how I'm feeling when I make music. So if it's a happy go-get-'em song where I'm, dancing, want you to dance, that's how I was feeling when I made it.
Yeah. And you want to reciprocate that feeling to other people.
Yeah.
So, what about what influenced you to kind of start doing this, where you were I've got to put it out on paper or put it out on a track and just get it out there into the world?
So I've always had, a love for English class, so I was always into, the poetry and stuff and rhymes. Once I started with that, I was, writing all my stuff down, and I'd show my brother, my older brother, because I look up to him, so I'd always be super excited to show him what I worked on.
Yeah.
So I'd go and show him some, my rhymes and stuff that I'd be writing down, and he would always, encourage me to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's good.
And so one day, I remember he had Logic, or not even Logic, it was GarageBand on his iMac.
Yeah.
And he just wanted me to go and record, so I tried to spit something that I wrote down to a random beat. And I remember thinking, this isn't for me, da-da-da.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a rapper. And then, as it progressed, I was, at home, and I'd be freestyling with my friends. And it kind of went from freestyling to being okay, well, I can write that down, and I can actually catch the beat better instead of just trying to force, these lyrics onto this song.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of got into my process too, like freestyling. I'll freestyle, get a feel for the beat, and then
So from freestyling, that kind of made you want to get more where it's like, all right, I can freestyle and make lyrics. Now it's time to kind of assemble all this into kind of a structure so I can create my own kind of vibes and stories with my music.
Exactly. I just had to find like the right tempos and stuff, that kind of fit me. Or like the things I was saying, I wanted to find beats that I could fit to. And like I have a lot of friends that make beats too.
Yeah, so you really gotta like, when you're looking for a beat, you really gotta like fit to the music. Yeah. Or the beat has to fit, you have to fit to the beat more than...
Yeah, it can't just be like anything. I mean, I can freestyle and stuff, so like you could put any beat on. It could be like not even of hip hop descent. It could be a completely different genre, and I'm sure I could like put some lyrics on it. But when I'm actually trying to make like a track that I'm working on, putting a lot of my work into, my time and effort, I really want someone to feel like something from it, Yeah,
yeah.
So it's not just like random.
Yeah, yeah. And it does matter because you have to put that like time and attention into that beat or song. So you have to spend a lot of time with it. Yeah. Even when I make music, I have to find myself at the beginning. It's just a lot of times when the tracks are made, it's just spending a lot of time with it, like quality time, not just letting it just loop endlessly, but like actually spending time with the progression of it as well.
Another thing I've realized is like you can have the best lyrics that you've ever written, but if it doesn't go to the beat you're trying to put it on, then you're not gonna get anywhere. Like it's not gonna come out how you really want it. Or like for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but in my opinion, like I can't. It won't give them the same feeling that I want the lyrics to portray. So when it comes down to the beat, it's really like it's got to be like a beat that fits the song, not like the beat and the lyrics. It's got to be like the track, the song.
Yeah, man. It's all about like, it's like yin and yang or like a marriage, where you have two different people, but they have to come together as one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
To make what you want at the end of the
day. That's what a successful relationship is. That's what a successful, song is. It's like you have the lyricist and then you have the music. Yep. And they have to perfectly come together. The way it works for me...
Two parts to coincide.
Yeah, the way it works for me is I always consider the voice an instrument. But it's like a very powerful and diverse instrument. Yeah. Like it has a class of its own. Because, I mean, you think about it, people do acapellas. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I actually like that too.
Yeah. And I mean, it got to the point where me and Kato tried to, like experiment around with it. I've even broken apart an acapella song that I grew up listening to that my mom used to always have playing because she was into acapella. I grew up, right? And listened to it and then found that song, took apart the song structure, figured it all out, and made a whole nother song that was completely different. Like you couldn't tell, but it was just had the same structure and all of that, and it was such a fun experience. If I had if I had a better voice, I would do acapella.
It is like the voice is the instrument that can tell you how it wants you to feel too. Like you could play a flute and you could be going for like a more slow, like melodic kind of thing, and you can like put that out there and really make people try to guess at what you're going for, what type of vibe you were going for. But like, I could get on an acapella track, and you can tell exactly how that song's gonna go based off how I started with my voice.
Yeah.
No matter like either tone, what tone I'm doing, you're obviously gonna get the feel right away.
That's true. You have so much energy behind your voice and your vocals, and things you could say. So that's absolutely correct.
Like, I'd say like that's a nice thing to back up your statement about how the voice is a pretty powerful instrument.
Yeah, it's so versatile, it's so dynamic, and you got the singers, you got the Beyoncés, and you got the, but then you have the Barry Whites too, the low tones, and so you have a lot of like variations, there's so much you can do. There's even so much I can do in my little genre of melodic progressive house, that it blows me away.
It's so diverse. Like there's so many different ways to do that one genre.
Right. And the fact that you can be influenced from one genre to work in your other genre is just crazy cool, Because, I listen to like the things that go on when, say, for example, you guys create hip hop tracks, you know, and there's probably things from that like I have subconsciously even used, you know, because there's things about it that I like, you know, and like you couldn't tell when you listen to my tracks, but it goes vice versa, you know.
That's what I like about music too. It's like it all kind of comes together. No matter what genre it is, it's always like there's an artist, there's a song, and there's a feeling behind it, or like a story that's to be told.
Yeah, so for sure.
I don't know. I feel like all genres can kind of take something from one another.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's, you know, it's all the same thing, just a different side of it, you know. Like it's music, but it's just a different face on the music. But
and like even speaking from like outside of an artist's point of view, just from like maybe a fan point of view from listening to other people's music, like I can listen to a lot of different stuff, and even if I'm not a fan of it, I can still see like that artist put a lot of work into that. So like it's not. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, that song's trash."
Yeah.
Well, it's not trash to a lot of people. Like a lot of people like it, obviously, or else you wouldn't be hearing it right now.
Right.
Like how to make its way to you.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there who like other stuff inside this genre. It's so broad.
Yeah, it's great, and I love that because everybody has basically an equal chance. It's just you just have to discover the tools of how you want to. How to do it first and foremost, and once you figure out how to do it, then yeah, the possibilities are absolutely limitless.
From there, it's like practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
just keep going.
It's like a 2x4, you know.
Yeah.
Like in the right hands, that 2x4 can turn into something crazy.
That's what I was doing. Last time I was here with Kato, actually too. We went back and listened to like some of my old stuff and compared it to some of my new stuff, and I was like. You know, I really didn't see the change when I was making my way, like, down the road. But going back and looking at it, I've definitely come a long way with, like, how I rap. And, like...
Yeah.
I guess, like, when I was first kind of starting, I was trying to force a sound.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I was trying to force my sound onto the beat to try to maybe take something away from the music that I listen to. But, like, as I've gone, it's really just becoming, like, my sound.
You get more self-centered about it. You get more intimate with the track.
Exactly.
It's kind of what I call it. When you first start out, you're just like, I'm going to give the track what it needs. You know, like a woman. You know, I'm going to give her what she needs, you know. But after that, you get a little bit more intimate with it where you're like, well, I'm going to work with it and intermingle with it. And we're going to create this together, you know.
Like when me and you worked on I Don't Want to Fall. That was like one of the first tracks I put a lot of like background thought into, and I wanted certain things to sound certain ways. And I really wanted like certain lyrics to carry over so you can hear it in the background space and like stuff like that. I feel like I put a lot of that was like one of the first tracks I really sat down, listened to it when it was finished, and I was like, you know, this could be a lot better. I could put this on it too, and I was like. Yeah, I started like I really fell in love with that song as I was making it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. In fact, when I make music, music's one of like the few things that actually like when I'm making it and I feel so strongly connected to the track. It doesn't even have to be like a great track, you know, but it would literally bring tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Like tears just come to my eyes, and I'm just like, this is the perfect moment. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it, but. I am in the perfect place right now. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's making music, and that's
when I get that feeling, I get really excited. Like after I have a writing session, I get through it. I finish the song. That's the entire beat. I'll go back and like rap it to myself like 60 times, just because I'm like, oh, like this actually really sounds good. Like this is it. It brings a different kind of joy.
Well, it's something that you've cultivated and you brought to life.
Yeah.
And it's yours. Like, nobody else could have done it the way you've done it.
That's, like, probably the main question I get asked is, oh, you wrote this? You wrote all that? It's like, yeah, I wrote all that.
Yeah.
Everything. And then I show them my notes on my phone. I'm like, yeah, these are all my notes. Like,
oh, yeah.
Every song that's out there is somewhere in these notes.
Oh, man. Yeah, my hard drive is just...
Oh, I seen it.
Yeah. It's full of music, man. So much music. I just can't stop, you know. And that's the thing about us as artists, you know. Like, it's not just good enough to just make one song. Because once you make one and you're like, oh, I can do this, you just want to just do it. You know, you just
Yeah.
want to make it over and over
And
and
it's like-
over, and you just have so much fun.
You get more ideas, and it's like, damn, like that last one was good, but
Mhm.
I'm positive I could for sure like come at it better
Mhm.
in some way, like in some way inside of that song. There's something that I can add, like a little spice to it, and like
Oh
it'll
yeah,
change
yeah.
it.
Like the track creation itself.
I've always been one to kind of like try to one up myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially like I've made a song and then
Mhm.
made a few, and I was like sitting on those few, like, yeah, these are good,
Mhm.
but are they better than the last one? It's like, I mean, it's content, but is it gonna be better than the last one? Like,
Mhm.
that's, I don't know, I really get to that thought in my head where it's like, I really want to just like have the next best thing. And then once I
Yeah.
have that, my
Well,
next best thing.
You don't know what your next best thing is, though.
Yeah.
You don't.
Which is true.
So you have to just put that stuff out there and let the world kind of decide for themselves. But everything that you make, good or bad, is, it's your page, it's your spot, it's your place. You can broadcast whatever you want.
Yeah.
Everything should go up there because you don't know. Some songs that I've made, man, and I'm a living example. I didn't think they were that anything that great. I was like, man, these probably aren't that good. They're probably trash.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like this is not better than my last one. And then, I upload it or somebody hears it and uploads it and it just gets a lot of love,
It's like always that group out there that'll like it.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
man.
That takes me back to what I was saying earlier. There's always going to be someone out there who likes that something different that you may not like, but a lot of people out there probably do like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's, 7 billion people on the planet,
Yeah.
If you can get, 10 of them, you've got a gathering, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the journey is really just getting them for now. I think in 2019, I think part of the journey is getting them like step by step.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like fan by fan kind of basis, where you just work towards that next number rather than saying, oh, I'm going to get 1,000 subscribers or 1,000, it's like, well, let me just try to get to
get my 100.
Yeah.
Let me talk to these 10 people real quick.
Yeah, it's just so, and then as you kind of keep going, you'll try to do it on a fan by fan basis, but the snowball starts taking off on its own. You know what I mean? And that's good because then you're just in it, and it's just like, this is the process. This is what makes us music artists. Like, not only are we making the music, but we're also in the process of showing it to a new person on almost a daily basis, And
I like where I'm at with it too right now. It's like, when I'm making music, it's not work. I don't feel like pressured to do it, but like when I'm making it, it's always a good time. I'm like, I have so much fun, and like I put a lot into this stuff just because it's like, even if nobody were to ever hear it and only I could hear it, I'd still be making it because I like the way it sounds and I like what I create and all this.
Yeah.
So like, just for 5 people to be like, hey, like that last song you posted was pretty cool. It's like, it's really something to me to be like, damn, 5 people like it, and this is something I made from me, that I made from scratch, all this. It's like,
it's
awesome.
amazing. It's amazing how you don't even think an idea could become that, where you're like, I just created this on my phone, or I just kind of pulled it up or whatever.
It's like what you said, that comes to life.
Yeah, and this project happens, and you're like, oh my God, I could do something with this.
It's definitely a great feeling.
Yeah, it's a lovely feeling. I love it, and I get it with a lot of my music, where when I'm making it, honestly, when a song's done, I'm usually kind of the saddest. Because it's like, the process of figuring it all out and making it all happen and making it all flow together was like so fun. And
you're like, oh, now I got it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm gonna put this out.
Yeah, you just put it out.
And start a new one. Okay.
Yeah, and then I get stuck again somewhere. Where it's like, fuck, I can't make the bass line or something. And here I go bumping around on the sound design, or So like the journey of the track itself is so rewarding if you can just kind of like get to that part of music where that's where you're comfortable at being, where you're comfortable at picking apart your track and you're not. I think it's way more worth it to just be way more fluid and like water with it. You know, you can't like swirl around in one spot for too long
Yeah.
and then go on. So when you create the track, it's like you're just flowing with the river of the vibe that you've created.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But it will get these like
You
imperfections.
get stuck up real quick, and then it carries you back out.
Yeah, and you have to kind of figure out how to get it all flowing together again. And that is like the struggle, but also the beauty of the process.
One of the big things I learned definitely from the Cool Breeze was errors are like gold.
Yeah.
It's like you would think like complete opposite, like, oh, I fucked up, like, let me take this out of here. Like, no, you leave it and do something with it later. Like, in a lot of my songs, you would never be able to sit there and be like, oh, that's where he messed up.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like I did it.
Yeah.
On purpose, but it's like, I'm like, everybody messes up, but certain mess ups kind of create.
Those are the best. They're called happy accidents.
Happy accidents.
Bob Ross.
Yep, exactly.
And those are my favorite things about music is the like happy accidents that happen whenever you are creating it where you're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but it just happens. And I'm not even lying. At least 80 to 90% of the music I make when the stuff happens is all like happy accidents.
I remember me and Cage, we're messing with something on here, trying to like make your voice sound like different instruments.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were going for like one sound, and he clicked on a sound and completely was just like taken back by it. It was a complete accident. Didn't mean to make it sound like that, but it sounded so crazy that he like went back, kind of backtracked it, remember how he made his voice sound like that, and then ended up making a completely different song based off that kind of sound that he found.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great. That's like, man, that's what turns me on about music so much is you're just doing the duties, you're going along, you're doing your thing, and then boop,
piece of gold.
Yeah, it just hits you really hard.
That's cool. Yeah, I always enjoy that.
So, whenever you start to create a track, and from the very beginning, can you tell me a little bit about your artistic process? You know, so there's no wrong answer here. You know.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your process, start to finish. Like, how do you go from creating a track from this nothing to a pushed out completion? You know, give me you can summarize. It doesn't be like, you know, at first I wake up, but, you know, just tell me that.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, you know, I got a lot of buddies who make beats and stuff, and they're producers. So, like, they always send me these, like, beat packages through my email. So really what I do is, for a while, I never really get into a mode where it's like, okay, I'm going to sit down and I need to write this. It's usually like, I'll sit there and I could go a week if I don't find the right beat. Because if the beat doesn't move me, then like, I don't want to really try to.
You can't mess with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'll sit there and I'll go through these beat packages, and whenever I find one, that's usually what I start with. So I'll find the beat, boom, I got the beat. And then what I've taken from you that I've been doing for a while now is like making sure I'm in a clean area, or like not necessarily clean, but clean to me.
Yeah.
Make sure
your feng shui is set.
Make sure I'm all set up, and I'll sit there and I'll listen to the beat. And usually what I do is I'll get myself in a kind of state of mind where I can have fun with it first.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to the beat and I'll think of all the different things I can do on it, and I'll think like I'll start freestyling on it, and I'll do a couple of takes and like maybe record it on my phone. And then what I do is from my freestyles, I'll pick maybe 3 lines that I really liked that I said, and I'll work on those lines to make them really like come together instead of being like in a freestyle manner where you kind of threw it together in your head real quick. I'll put some detail in it, and then from those 3 lines I'll build and just pretty much go from like, if I'm trying to tell a story, I'll try to build off that story. If I'm just going for a vibe or a type of thing that you can feel, I'll do that too. But that's pretty much what I do. Find the beat, make sure I'm in the right setting, and then freestyle or kind of just have fun with the beat. and then I'll build off maybe 2 to 3 lines, the whole thing.
Okay, so you get 2 to 3 lines after you finish playing around with it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the beat you want. All right, so this is before you even hit the studio?
Yeah, this is way before I hit the studio. So
Okay.
I sit there and I'll write through the whole track based off those 2 to 3 lines.
Mm-hmm.
Go for like what I said, the whatever story or vibe I'm going for.
Okay.
And then once I have it completely written through, I'll go back and I'll rap it to myself like 40 times, 40, 50 times, just to make sure like when I do go to the studio, everything's in its place. Like I don't want to come here and, ask you to help me record and then us be sitting here and I'm like, when I wrote this, I had it like, well, just give me a second, just give me it. And then it's like, well, now you're just sitting here and it's like you could be doing something. So
oh yeah, man. I mean, I'm a big advocate of whenever you make songs and stuff that you have as much of it completed in your head or on paper as possible before you have to go somewhere else and then and make the song.
I'm a real physical copy kind of guy. I like to have it. And so I just go through and make sure there's like no errors. I'll rap it to myself, make sure everything's lined up. That way when I get to the actual studio, I can come in, say, hey, here's the beat, email it to you, we'll pull it up, and we can just lay down. And I like, for the most part, you've seen, like, I come in and I'm like, okay, we're going to do the verse, and I'm just going to put this first. And then, okay, we're done with the verse, okay, I'm going to hit this chorus or, like, this little bridge right here. But I always know, like, I'm not ever guessing, like, okay, well, do you think this should go right here? It's like, no, I want this right here, and I want this right here, and maybe if you could help me out by making this sound a little like this, like, it's always kind of to a T.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so after you do all that and then you lay it all out in the track and then you spend a little bit of time. Is that when you spend a little bit of time adding, like, well, okay, let me rephrase this. So you have everything laid out on a track, everything's good. You come into the studio, you lay it all down, but you run into some kind of issue there. Like, what is your approach of handling, like a verse you had that you thought was perfect when you wrapped it out?
Oh, I do come onto a problem.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't line up.
Yeah.
So mostly what I'll try to do, like that's where happy errors or the happy mistakes come into play, because like I'll go through the takes and I'll just rap it as if like there's nothing wrong with it. And if like usually it'll sound good because like when I'm rapping it and I get into that kind of rhythm and I'm really feeling the beat, it's not like it's offbeat or it's not like it's bad. I guess like it's just kind of like put in a different spot than where I had it before. But as long as it comes together, I'm happy with the project at the end of the day.
Okay, cool. So, tell me, where do you see yourself as an artist, as a musician, as a person, and the future? Like, what do you see in the future for, really, I'm curious for yourself as an artist. So, what is Wavvy Jay? What does the future look like for Wavvy Jay?
Future for Wavvy Jay?
Yeah.
I want to drop some albums, or maybe not albums, but like some mixtapes, EPs. I really want to get a lot more content out there. Shows.
Yeah.
Can definitely start looking into shows and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Okay.
Honestly, though, like for the business side of things, it's like where I see myself in the future, or how should I word this? I don't really see myself like giving up on music just because I didn't make it or whatever, like someone else would say. Like I'm always gonna kind of make music, so regardless if I'm making money or not based off of my music in the future, I still see myself
like
making.
You'll always be making music.
Yeah, I still see
like
myself
whether you make
music.
money or not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is just like just like I told you, it's a hobby. It's a good way for me to express myself. I like to get it all out on paper and really like make something of it instead of just letting it sit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like me and you let it sit, it literally drives you mad.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy to do that, to let it, I have so many songs and so many projects inside of my head. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Like, if I just can't possibly, that's the only reason why I have to do this, because I have so many inside of me. I have to learn how to make it just so I can get it out of my head,
Yeah. So I've been here, I've seen it.
Yeah.
We're always thinking about like,
yeah.
What can we do?
So forever for me, whatever happens for me, it's always going to be It's always going to be music. I always have to make it. I always got to be surrounded by it. I always got to be talking to people about it or being in it. And it's really fulfilling to me. You know, I really found fulfillment in my life from doing it.
Yeah.
I've done other stuff and I've worked and, you know, done it all, but music by far just hits home because it's the same amount of work if you think about it, you know, because it's 24 hours in a day and it's only so much you can do in one day, whether you work a job or not, you know?
But it's like, doesn't feel like you're working though. It's like, I'm doing this for me. It's like taking a vacation. I get to go record a song.
Yeah. Or just make content for your songs, you know? Like, that's where I'm getting better about doing is it's my music. I'm very proud of it, even if it's not everybody's favorite cup of tea or anything, you know? But it's just the fact that I can get in there and make it and put it out and stick it out is just so fulfilling, you know?
And it's like, even before I was making music, like, I've always had a deep passion for it. Like, certain songs are healing in a sense, and like, certain songs can take you back to certain memories, and like, I love that about music. Like, I can associate a song with a time in my life, which is fucking nuts. Like, if you think about it, like, this one lyric can make me think about like 30 things that happened during the summer that I was playing that song last summer. Like, that's what I love about it. And then when I actually started making music, it was like, just like you said, it was fulfilling for me to actually, like, I don't know, take something away from everything that I've been hearing and kind of give it my own spin on things. And for people to actually kind of like be like, okay, well, this is also good music. And it's like, what I consider good music and like what they consider good music, they're kind of putting it hand to hand. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, cool.
It just turns out great. And you just have this product. And my thing is just, for me, throughout the years, whenever I made music and how I'm going to create it and stuff, it was just like, I had to put it out somewhere because I had to leave myself clues to the future me that was going to go back and look at that and listen to all that. Future Donovan or future Xavier looks back at it and listens to it and be like, oh, okay, you know, when you made this, you were really feeling it for XYZ. So it's always like, you got this, it's uplifting. And I make it a lot of times, I make it for me, but just, I think other people feel that way too, where it's like,
I can't even remember like what I was thinking when I first dropped something on SoundCloud. Like, I don't even remember honestly how I heard of SoundCloud. I think I was just using it to listen to music, like, because I didn't have Apple Music or Spotify or anything. And then I saw like you can upload, and then I was like, oh, people actually upload music to SoundCloud. And then that was like around the same time when my brother was like, hey, get on this track, dude, da-da-da. And I did it, and I was like, you know, like, felt like forced. It felt like I was trying, like, to push myself to do it. But then later on, it just kind of came to me, I guess, in a sense. It was like,
you put it out there, and then you finally got it out there, and then you listen to it on like a different device or something.
It's crazy, honestly. Like, when you finish a song on FL, we sit here and listen to it on FL. It's like it's cool. But then you send it to my phone, and it's like I'm hearing myself play on my phone. I never would have thought this would happen like 10 years ago.
Or you listen to it in the car with the speakers, and you're just like, oh my God.
Then you get the reactions, and all your homies are like, man, this is you. Oh, that shit goes hard, man.
Yep. And that's the way it is. All right, man. So before we get up out of here, before I let you go, I would like for you to just kind of showcase or shout out anybody or anything you got coming up to your upcoming fans, to anybody that messes with you, that's part of the Wavvy Jay team. Just send them a quick little message, say something for them.
I just want to give a shout out to everybody who actually takes the time to listen to my music. Like, even if you don't like it, or if you see it on Twitter, like, one retweet or like.
All right.
I'm one retweet or like away from somebody out there liking it, and maybe one day the right person will hear it and like we'll get somewhere from it. But what else? I want to give a shout out to these upcoming tracks. I got upcoming tracks with Cage.
Okay.
I got at least 3 with Cage, 4 maybe. We got one with another up-and-coming artist out of Merced, Truey, my boy Alex. So we got Put You On Game, Pull Up, What else? There's too many. You'd have like you
All
guys
right,
are gonna
so-
have to stay tuned.
How can they keep tuned with you? How can they follow your journey?
You gotta follow me on SoundCloud, right here at the real Wavvy Jay on
So we got your
Instagram.
SoundCloud.
Yep, Wavvy Jay, 2 V's.
All right.
Real Wavvy Jay _ on IG.
Okay.
And we got Jared Bawa on Twitter.
All right.
And I post to all 3 of those.
Okay.
SoundCloud when the actual song drops. IG and Twitter when I'm kind of hyping it up.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get like the picture of the cover art I'm gonna use and like when I'm gonna drop it and all that.
Yeah.
Usually do it a week or 2 in advance.
All right. Well, hey man, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me,
I
dog.
appreciate you coming on to the show,
Hell
man.
yeah.
And
Cool breeze.
Yeah, man, for sure. And this is where it all starts. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're a part of it, that you're part of the
Oh
journey.
man, I love to be here.
Yeah, it's a great place, and it's a place where dreams become a reality.
The muse is always around.
Yep.
Always getting to it, man.
Yep. And that's going to be it for today, everybody. Just a special shout out and thank you to everybody that's tuned in, decided to stick around and be a part. It means the world. It truly does. Be sure to just follow the journey of Wavvy Jay. Check him out on his socials, Instagram, SoundCloud, and Twitter. He posts on there, so he'll be sure to update you with all of his stuff. That's about it for me. I can't wait to catch you guys on the next episode. And thanks for hanging with the Cool Breeze. Peace. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Episode 4 is done. And it has been a wonderful little chat, man. I just love talking to Wavvy Jay about music. There's another artist, too, that I hope to have on here in the hip-hop world who is up and coming, and his name is Cage. And eventually I'll have him on here, and we'll talk more about music and things of that nature, especially how what it takes for you to begin and do this, because it's not as hard as you think, but it does take some work, So stick around, and I will catch you on the next episode. And as usual, thanks for hanging out with the Cool Breeze.